Are you rolling? All right. Good evening, and welcome to the roast of Will Skudin.
Out of here.
Are we actually rolling?
Hold on.
All right, perfect.
No.
So,
Cut.
Before we get started, are you seeing yourself as the interviewer or the interviewee right tonight?
We literally came to Florida Media, sat down. You got overexcited. You sat in that seat, and then you called me over here, and now you're trying to say it's a roast.
But then I said,
I would like to interview you.
I said, get ready, Will, because I got some questions for you. You said, this isn't about me, and I was thinking that I was going to interview you.
I mean, let's talk. I mean, no one cares about me. Let's hear how did you figure out how you figured out what you figured out?
At what point? To get to the point?
I mean, I saw your movie and all that good stuff, but like, and we get it, but is it in your DNA or did you like actually have to work for it?
Well, everything in my life that I've ever accomplished. So we're just diving right in.
No, I know you work harder than anybody. I don't want to discredit you. You're the hardest working. I'm just going to tell you right now. Just to get this clear. You're the hardest working person in the surf industry I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
And you're exactly who. When I first went on a trip with you, I was scared because I thought you were going to be a different person behind the scenes as you were on the scenes, and you really blew me away. Without blowing smoke, you're the exact same dude off and on. So that's hats off to you on that. So let's talk crap to each other all night, but you kill it, and I'm a fan of Ben Gravy.
Wow.
Okay?
That's
you hear
an
that,
honor.
everybody?
Well, thanks. So I've known of you my whole life. Known who you were my whole life. And I actually thought that you were a lot gnarlier of a dude than you ended up being. And I was always kind of like, whoa, this guy, I don't know about this guy. He might be a little gnarly for me.
In what way?
I thought you were like mad serious. So I really, really enjoyed getting to know you, peeling back the layers. And here we sit. You're a really nice guy.
Yeah, it's been
You're
fun.
a cool guy.
It's been fun, man.
But what I can say, the reason I brought that up is because earning respect from you, it's kind of a big deal. Can't lie. I'm being serious.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Like, and when you meet someone like so opposite of you, but then they're on the same, like we're in the same industry, and we're both just trying to catch as many waves as we can.
Yeah.
But we are nothing alike.
No.
But I do enjoy chilling with you.
That's why.
I mean, I could do short van rides with you, no doubt. Anything like the Mackie stuff and all that stuff you do, like once it goes over in a couple hours, you know, I'm off the side of the road. I need my own car. Actually.
So
I'll follow you.
I need my own car too.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, if I know that someone is a young up and comer, like a Mackie or a new guy, I'll throw them in the van with me for a while. But if I know that someone has their deal, they're already stuck to their deal, they don't need to get in the van with me. They're living their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you feel like you lose people because like from an outside looking in, it looks like you can recognize talent in the production world.
Okay.
And you bring people in,
mm-hmm.
and they almost like, would you say, graduate through you and kind of take off? Like, not saying like it's like all you're doing, like they had to have something that you saw inside of them. Like all the filmers that you've brought, like that have been through your whole entire
Ben
world.
Gravy School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, Ben Gravy School. Pretty much. I don't know.
Well, you can choose to come here because I actually people don't realize that I actually do have a pretty decent skill set in production and stuff. So you can come here and choose to learn, or you can come here and choose to do whatever you want. But if you pay attention, I could teach those guys something. And a couple guys I have, it's success stories. You know what I mean? But
yeah, like who surprised you the most out of all your filmers, out of all the people that filmed you, even one day? Like who surprised you the most? Like I don't want to like. I'm sure everybody has their own strengths, and I don't want to like I don't want these guys to watch this and be like, oh, I can't believe you didn't say me. But like who's the most improved award?
Okay, most improved award by far is Mackie. Mackie Films.
Let's clap it up for Mackie.
Is
there cheers? Can we get cheers? Any like button for the cheers? No. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
How do you know? How'd you know?
I knew there was
How'd you know they were cheering?
I just knew. Yeah, Mackie.
Mackie is just a kid from Margate who his mom bought him a camera, and I saw him filming one day in LBI, and he had no idea what he was doing. It's the shakiest footage I've ever seen in my entire life. But
you worked his shaky commentary into your stuff, I noticed.
When I met this kid, he was one of the funniest dudes I ever saw. He started freaking out. He's going, Ben Gravy, all this stuff. And then he's filming
got that voice.
The shakiest footage you've ever seen in your life, but he's saying, oh, look at Ben. Ben's up on this one.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, there's something to that. So
I think some of your best viral clips were his raw commentary.
It's all about his audio, dude. It is.
That's cool. Most Improved Award.
Yeah. So what's up? Like, why don't you like to make videos? This is something I was going to say earlier. This touches on why we're so different. There's nothing more core than surfing big waves and making 2-minute edits with music in the background. There's nothing more core than that. And then you have 30-minute edits with almost no music, all talking. This is you here. That's me over here.
Yeah, I mean,
here we are podcasting.
Yeah, here we are podcasting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. You know what it is, man? It's not true to who I am. You know,
yeah.
Like, I don't mind jumping in, you know, on the vlog and hanging with you, or actions, music video, and I don't mind being a guest. Like, being a guest to me has always been fun. Like, I always enjoy it. Like, I don't know what's next.
Yeah.
But
yo, you're right.
The pressure, right? How do you deal with the pressure of like having to get something else out? Like,
but
I don't like that.
You are a lot funnier than maybe you give yourself credit for. Like, sometimes in my vlog, you're the highlight of the vlog, which is good.
I don't know. I don't read any of the comments. Do people like? I honestly don't even go on.
Oh, you've got love for sure.
Yeah, do I get any love?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think
I guess you're not killing it until you're getting hate, though, right?
Yeah.
If it's all good, then it's no good.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, I don't know. The pressure can be devastating sometimes. I don't know how I made it this far, but it can be nuts. It's something that probably a lot of people don't think about when they're watching my videos, because it's all fun and games when you're watching it, but it can get gnarly, dude. Like, I put the pressure on myself, because like I could easily say, oh, I'm gonna step back and make a video every week. Mm-hmm. But for me, like the enjoyment is sharing my life with everyone. So the ups, the downs, the big waves, the small waves, the everything, the relationships, how they grow, how they mature, you know, my family, everything. So,
well, you put out a lot of your vulnerability in your movie, I noticed. And like, to me, that's like that takes more balls than surfing any wave, to show people like your weaknesses and like things that you've gone through in your life. And like, a lot of people want to put that thing, tuck them away and move on, but like, you really shared that. So I don't know, like for me, like what, like that to me was like, it's hard to do, right? I mean,
yeah, well, I mean, dude, when I was younger and I was trying to be a pro surfer, whatever you want to call it, and I was living my life, I had such a gnarly shield and such a gnarly wall that I could never break through, and I had all these insecurities and all this stuff. But when I had my knee injury and I decided to quit drinking and all that stuff happened to me, I felt so horrible about who I was that I never wanted to go back there. So for me, I knew that I was like obviously imperfect in so many ways, but that injury helped me just share that and just be like, you know, like I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not anything. And it's weird because it helped me build into the person that I am today. Just allowing that to just be, oh, well, I'm a kook. Who cares? Whatever.
Is it like almost like a weight lifted off your chest?
Oh my God.
Really?
It's the best feeling I could ever imagine. And I can really read people who I know, a lot of people that I know who are dealing with insecurities and worrying about what other people think of them and stuff. And I'm always like, bummer. Like, I feel
like that's like something like, say a kid's listening to this podcast right now, like dealing, like you just nailed it, like dealing what other people think of you, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
you've probably had to deal with that. Like, is there any advice that, like, you probably have to deal with that at a very, like, so many levels of, like, you know, when you put yourself out there when you're at a higher level, people hate for no reason, or what other people think of you. Like, how does, like, what's advice for that? Like, because I feel like that's like a straight up fear, especially for the youth. Yeah, well, I get it every day. So if I was afraid of that, I'd have a serious problem. But I wake up every day to someone trying to hate on me, like DM, YouTube comment, whatever it is. Like TikTok. Attack mode, or like just
there's
like
attack. I get a lot of attack modes. I get some playful hate, some whatever. It's all levels.
Wow.
All levels of middle-aged insecure males.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Like, I mean, I just like, man, like I just feel like, that's a scary world, like I feel like that's why, like, it's scary for anybody to do any kind of like podcast or anything, because you got to be able to have thick skin, man. It's weird though, you can, when I first started making my vlogs, I was so vulnerable and I was putting myself out there so crazy, and people would hate on me and I didn't understand. I would get like choked up and sad. I'd be like, why is this guy doing this? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like all I did was try to save a bird. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I had this one video, I saved this bird off the side of the road and I was sad in the video. I was like crying. I was like, this poor bird, I feel so bad for it. And this guy was just roasting me, dude. Like 9 comments, dude. And I'm just like, going off. What's wrong with this guy? And it hurt my feelings so badly. But the thing that I've learned these days is, like, they're not hating for a reason. Yeah. They're just hating because you have something going on that either they wish they had going on, or you're putting it out there and they really wish that they could. Mm-hmm. And so a jealousy thing, you think mostly?
Jealousy is the root of all evil, dude. It really is. Even on every level.
Yeah, it's kind of like where it all stems, right?
Yeah, because there's something that just...
You know what's crazy? I was thinking about jealousy the other day. And besides like my brother getting a brand new board and me not, or like when I was a little kid, or like things like that, like, yo, I'm straight up, like, this is the God's honest truth. I don't really remember, like, in my life being jealous of anybody else, because I just been so focused on riding big waves and like doing what I had to do that day to achieve my goals. I don't remember my whole life ever going, like, having time to, like, really be jealous of anybody else. And I was like, oh my God, like that's just on accident. Like, I didn't try. I just like, I'm like, oh my God, I never really been jealous, like to an evil, like to a high level, like a little jokey kind of jealous. Yeah. But like, it's never hit me like that. And then, I was just like, wow, like a lot of people have certain things in their life. And I think like when it's all said and done, I think that's like kind of like one of the things that like I'm just going to be really thankful for in my life. It's like, damn, I just been busy.
You have to, like, you have to, because there's a lot of people that live in that moment and they live in that jealousy. But one of the most important things in life is, I am here right now. This is me. I'm going where I'm going. Why am I going to think about what that person's doing, or what something that someone says is going to affect my future? Like, you can't go beyond what we're doing right in this moment. So I feel like that's a lot of it stems from people just being like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or this guy's doing what I want to be doing, or this or that. But I think I'm the same way.
It's almost like you get stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, it's like, listen, and like people go through hard times, and like the jealousy stuff, and like I get it, and like, but you got to get out of the mud. You got to fight to get out of the mud. If you feel like you got that jealousy building up in you and you're looking at other people, like, you got to get out. And right? What's the advice for that? Like, someone might be watching this, be like, damn, man, I do get jealous. Like you just got to like pick a goal. And when you feel those jealousy or that hate or that, it's not going to help you. You got to fight to break through it. You got to come up with a goal, and you got to just like throw that away. Use that, like, looking at somebody else's life to take you in a direction towards your goals and your passions. Or
this is a perfect example. There's room for all and everyone. Me and you could be sworn enemies if we wanted to. We could both say, I want to run the Northeast. I want to be the biggest surfer in the Northeast. Be like that Will guy. The ways he surfed, they weren't even that big.
Yeah.
They weren't even that gnarly.
People used to say that too. Yeah. Small
I'm sure
Mavericks.
they did. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
But and then
I got a couple messages like small Mavericks. And you ever see a small day of Mavericks? So scary.
It's terrifying. And then
people actually sent me that. Actually, I've had a couple of those.
I'm 100% certain, dude.
Yeah, but you're right. Like we could easily, like it's that quote, right? All ships rise with the tide.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I live by that. That's why my vlog. Sometimes my vlog is about other people and other people that are more talented than me.
Recently, your vlogs have been about all other people, even your wife. Like it's been kind of fun to watch. Like as far as like you almost set people up.
Yeah, well, I love creating characters. It's a huge part of my thing.
I noticed you're like the king at that. Like you literally like Kevin from Wind and Waves. Like literally, you just like you got that guy going, and he's one of your characters. Mackie, one of your characters. Yeah. Even Ryan Mack. That was you guys played that game a little bit back and forth. You really created a lot of characters. And it didn't matter if one person showed up to your vlog for 10 minutes or like 10 vlogs. Like
yeah. Well, that's the thing, like what we were talking about before, like you don't have to necessarily even be a filmer, like to be involved with what I'm doing, like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the Moose on some of my vlogs.
Yeah. He's hysterical. Classic. I love it.
But you can come.
You made Jay.
Fish fillet Jay, baby.
Yo, Jay Belsky, Florida Media, where we are right now. During Oregon, I think he was the funniest guy at the whole Oregon.
100%.
Like
him or Run Amok.
Yeah, him and Run Amok going back and forth between Jay and Run Amok. Like we're talking about 30, 40, 50 foot waves, whatever it was. Yeah. And like the funniest parts was the camera guys like shooting the thing. Like that the way you found the humor and like
Thanks,
Jay's
dude.
a funny dude.
Thanks.
Like I'm not just plugging him here. Like he's a funny dude, but you pulled that out of him. Where I don't feel like anybody else would have ever done that.
Well, I appreciate that. The thing that I've learned about myself truly is I used to say my skill is I'm not a good surfer, I'm a good editor. But I've actually learned that my true skill is producing. Like if I ever move on from this, that's what I want to do. Because I could take other people and I could build a TV show or a storyline around other people. It's actually easier to build it around other people than it is to build it around myself.
Do you have any like thoughts like that? Like, is that something you actually want to do?
Yeah, eventually, for sure. Yeah. Like for sure.
A movie or like this kind of stuff?
See,
or
scripted.
Where's your head at?
My head is kind of at like, I could almost...
Fiction?
I could see myself, just the way that content's going, I could see myself building people kind of how I helped Mackie become Mackie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you give them their stage name.
I found the funniest parts about them and helped them.
You encourage them to become themselves and a better version of themselves.
Yeah. So I think I could almost be a consultant for people to grow in social media. Yeah,
Find their inner Ben Gravy.
Sure. Yeah. If
Ben Gravy Consulting, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Gravy Consulting coming to you 20, 25, 26, 27. When is retirement?
My expiration.
Is there a retirement for Ben Gravy? How about that question?
Yeah, my expiration date is 2029.
2029. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
See you later.
Heard that. Don't pull some Kelly Slater on me.
I'm gone.
Are you out? What's 2029?
All accounts. Delete.
Really? You're going to press the delete button. You know you're going to archive it.
Nah, I'm going to...
You can't delete it.
Nah, I'm going to be...
Your kids have to watch these things.
Nah,
right?
Dude, that's the crazy thing about the internet. It's going to be there for the rest of eternity. And who knows what it's going to be. But no, I see myself still getting people stoked in my 70s, 80s. But my vlog's going to be different. When I'm 83 years old, my vlog's probably going to be 5 minutes. And I'm going to go catch one wave. You know what I mean?
I think that like there might be like I can see in the future that you have your like your Groot. What's that guy's name in the Minions? The main guy?
I know what you're talking about.
3 little kittens.
Yeah, so that
that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Steve Carell.
You have all your minions. Like not saying they're minions, but like you have like your little Ben Gravies making vlogs. And you're like the king.
Yeah, or
am I just tripping?
No, I've thought about so many different...
Like you should sponsor kids.
I've thought about that I want to do. I've thought about trying to get the big payoff, 30 mil, wrap it up, call it a day. I'm Ralph Lauren, Ben Gravy sold out, 30 mil. And then I think, well, that's not valuable to anybody. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? And then
I think there's a way to do both, though, right? Would
there
you think?
is, probably.
You have control.
And then I think, yeah, I want to start a surf team, and I want to start a surf camp, and I want to start an annual contest every year, and I want to help other people make vlogs, and I want them to be under my umbrella where I can share the web. Like Jordan has a podcast, I have a podcast, Mackie has a podcast. I share all this stuff on my channel. That grows this grows that. Everything's building. Everything's
one tree.
Yeah, and it's all positive, and like you said, all ships rise with the tide. And I see that.
Not just one pineapple in the field.
Yeah, I see a future of multimedia, and that's what it takes too. Because stocks are down here, they're up here. Stocks are down here, they're up here. Things.
Well, just let me know. I'll invest. I'll 100% invest.
Right now, I think.
Click here.
We're looking for, I think, 300 million. It was the. No, so we'll see. I don't know. I think I have a solid.
You're doing a good job, man.
I have a solid 7 years of doing what I'm doing left. I have a lot of stuff to accomplish, and if I start down the road of surfing every country in the world, it's going to be a whole nother thing. And then
that's going to be crazy if you do that.
Who knows?
Oh my God, I want nothing to do with that. I love you, but man, I'll go to a couple of them, but I just bring me the fun ones. But that would be amazing, actually, if you surfed every country in the world.
Yeah.
Well, who's been plugging that? Is that actually a thing?
I pitch it at Red Bull every other day.
Yeah.
Or so.
Man, that could be really rad.
But I think my journey is, it's really right now. It's about just getting out there and just sticking to it and just proving that this mindset can carry you further than you ever believed. Because I feel I'm still in the proving process, and I'm still at the point where, I walk into Jay's studio here, and I say, "This is content. I want to share what this guy's doing."
Guys, if you're watching this, he just walked in and checked out the studio. There was no podcast being shot today, so this is just winging it.
We're winging it. You're doing a good job, though.
But real quick, just to circle back, so. You put you made a movie, and at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade, right?
Let's go.
A lot of crazy things going on in the world. I had a crazy year. Just seeing things through a different light. At the end of the day, nobody stands up and talks about what you had, or the things you have, or the items you have. They talk about how you made them feel, and I feel like that's something I've noticed of you recently. Is like, you are putting things out that are trying to help people. And like, that's when I was like, yo, I like this guy, because like my brother, my family, we've always tried to do our best to just like try to help people, like that was just always like through the ocean. And it was just the way I grew up. My house was always like that. It was like kids coming through all the time. We were always doing things. And I feel like you see that, and I know it's about business and this and that, but at the end of the day, you can't, you don't take any money with you when you die.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean? It's all nothing. It means nothing.
I have to tell you, that's one thing that I really, really respect about you and your family. And that's not the reason I keep working with you. There's many, many reasons, but that's one of the reasons that in the beginning, when I really saw what it was, because I didn't know you, we started kind of working together and we didn't really know each other. And I saw how it was and how it really was. Like what type of people you and Cliff really are. Like, you really care. And that to me it was a huge thing for me to stay with you guys and keep working with you guys and just keeping the relationship good, because it's a lot. You understand what I understand, and you do it through your surf camp. I do it through a vlog, but we're passing on the right things to kids and people of all ages, really.
Yeah.
And it's meaningful.
Like, someone will watch this and be like, hate on it,
Oh, for sure.
And be like, oh, these guys, and like that's what sucks. Is like, yo, like you put out your movie's incredible. If people haven't seen it, go see it. It's you put out your vulnerabilities. You're doing that to help people.
Yeah.
We all know you're not making any money off that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you didn't do it for money. You know,
totally.
And like in this day and age, everybody's always, they do things and hope for things in return. And like, when it's cool. It's like you bring a breath. It's like a a breath of fresh air, like an old school.
Thanks.
And like that's why I love like teaching surfing, because when I go down there on the beach and it's just me and the kids and I'm just talking to them, whatever comes out of my mouth that day and they absorb, that's between us.
Yeah.
You know, and like nobody can rewind it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like, that's what my grandfather taught my mom. That's what my mom taught me. So to me, like the hair, I just been so blessed to have that. So like at the end of the day, that's all I'm going to have. And like, that's why this year has just been a crazy, been a big thinking year for me.
Yeah.
But like, let's have fun with this, right? Let's try to make a business out of this. Let's see how far we can take the things in the right way. But like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, totally.
It really doesn't.
100%.
So you just got to do what you love.
Well, you have to wake up every day and do what you love, and you have to put your blinders on to a certain extent and just and drive forward and say, these are my people here, and me and you are both lucky enough to have a huge, massive web of our people. You know, not everyone's as lucky as we are. They don't have hundreds of people in their lives. Like we both have hundreds of people in our lives, and there's always, there's a select few that are your close people. And I truly believe what you're saying. Like, you have to wake up every day and just follow your goal, and that's it. Because because what are you going to do? You're going to just let negativity creep into your brain and let it take over and put you in a place where, what's the point? Because there's either this or there's what's the point, or there's some weird middle ground where you're.
And we all understand we have to make sacrifices in life to make money, to do the things we love, and like
totally
finding that balance, right? Not everybody, can find work in their passions, right?
Yeah, totally.
And it's just about the balancing act with that, and also like the one thing I was thinking about, I saw this, the story of the Chinese farmer. You ever hear that story?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's like how something like bad could be something good. Like, for instance, the Chinese farmer, his horse goes missing one day, and the village people are like, your horse went missing, that sucks. And he's like, oh, maybe. And then the next day, 7 horses come, and they're like, wow, you got a lot, all these wild horses came back. And he's like, that's great. He's like, maybe. And then his son rides the horse, and then he falls and breaks his leg. And the whole townspeople are like, oh man, that really sucks. He's like, maybe. The next day, the draft people come to get young kids, young men to go to the war, and they pass on his son because he had a broken leg. And like, wow, I can't believe that, and he said, they were like, that's amazing. And he's like, well, maybe. But the point of the story is like, nothing is good and nothing is bad.
It's true.
Because you don't know the outcome, right?
It's true.
So like something really bad can happen. You break your leg, but then you don't get called on the draft. Like, so bad could be good and good could be bad. It just always all becomes like, what's the outcome of it? So to stress off the bad when it could turn into the best thing in your life.
100%.
So like that story really resonated with me.
I actually really like that story. I've never heard it before, but it's so spot on. So spot on.
Think about it. I mean, your movie's kind of about that,
Yeah.
Your biggest downfall became your biggest
100%
virtue.
It did.
Yeah.
100% it did. And for me, like, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, my mission is, I'm still proving it to this day, because maybe. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like we'll see. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, and,
exactly. My wife freaking
I think Jay liked that. Maybe.
My wife hates that about me, but I'm actually very much like that Chinese farmer. I'm always like, I don't know.
Yeah, because like that, like it's crazy in life when the craziest, worst things happen. Like, if you follow the trickle effect of them, sometimes they turn into the best moments of your life down the line because of that, and, there are things that you can't take back, and, death is hard to deal with, and losing people and stuff like that. There's things like that to just, you almost feel like there's never like a no silver lining to that. But like you said, you just got to move forward, and you just got to like, you got to carry the traditions of the people that you love, and just, keep it going, and just one foot in front of the other kind of thing.
On my side of things, like I've been in situations where, my I've been going through the motions and not realizing why I'm doing something. But eventually, like you're saying, like you eventually do realize the silver lining. And sometimes you can be moving through without emotions or any attachment to it. And you're like, man, like, what is this? You know? Mm-hmm. But like you eventually, I feel if you stay on your right path, you'll have that moment of, okay, like this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah. I love that.
And like you said, like, I mean, God's plan for us is, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, like the plan is so much bigger than we could ever imagine. Mm-hmm. I always tell Jordan that I don't feel like I'm the one carrying this out. You know what I mean? Like I'm a bigger part of the picture. Like I'm just a puzzle piece to the bigger picture. And
you're a vessel.
I'm a vessel, 100%. Yeah. I'm a vessel for whatever this is.
I knew there was some spiritual side to you. I could feel it, man. Like, you know, no matter what you believe in, right? No, like, let's not go down that route. Like, cause like the root of any kind of spirituality in any way is gratitude.
Yeah, for
sure.
Like,
why, you know, there's no wrong or right, but you put yourself second to something, right? You don't make yourself one. You don't make yourself, you don't call yourself God, right? So that's like why people grab onto spirituality in life is because, and I have a relationship, you know, with a God and, you know, I knew there was something deeper with you because like, I'd see that in you. You are a vessel. Something's working through you.
Well, I had this moment at my premiere, and one of my buddies, he had a buzz on. He's like, dude, you're so famous. Like, oh. And I was like, am I? That never crossed my mind. Well, I was just doing this.
Yeah.
You know, like I wasn't thinking about it like that. I actually was looking at it like, I want to give these people value. They came here to support what I'm doing. They came here to support me because at some point in their life, I gave them value. Mm-hmm. So they came back to say, Ben, we're here for you.
Yeah, at the Atlantic City premiere.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking, amazing. I wasn't on the stage like.
Over 1,000 people packed that place.
I wasn't on the stage thinking I was cool. I was like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
It was your hometown showing up for you.
Yeah. So
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, everywhere I've traveled with you, there's people garbage men are pulling over to the side of the road trying to take pictures of you. How do you not?
I don't know.
You know, you're very recognizable.
Yeah, but dude, there's something else going on that I can't get caught up in that.
Well, that's why I with you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like I know. Like at first I was like, dude, this guy, he's got to be out of his mind. Like to do vlogs like that every time. Yeah. And I'm like, holy, you know, I knew there's something spirit deeper than what you do, and I never wanted to pry at it or anything. Because like, listen, I got my relationships with my God. I have my deal, and I keep stuff private. So I never wanted to dig at you about that, but. You know, that's beautiful. And I see it in what you do daily, and I got a lot out of that, like especially the time I've been hanging with you. So yeah, just like
happy to hear that.
Knowing that you're you know,
look, dude,
someone else, goosebumps. Somebody else is working through you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I had to connect with that. I think the sobriety thing is really powerful, you know.
Yeah, because it's your thoughts.
Yeah, and
sobriety is huge because you're 100% your thought. There's no outside, there's no hungover, there's no outside influence. Like there's no fake, you know, you're not drugging yourself. Yeah. You know, you're not like coming up and coming down and like saying like the what do they say? The drunk man's is sober man. What's that? Sober man thoughts, or a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. That's bullshit to me because, when you're drunk, you just are. People are just slanging things. Like that's not who they are.
Yeah, no, totally. You know I agree with that too.
Yeah, like I always hated that because I'm like, if that's the truth, then there's a lot of people that are really close to me. Yeah. Like no, man. There's when you're like having a bad one.
I don't judge people off when they're inebriated, like, because
it's not them.
Nah, it's not.
If you've dealt with alcoholism in your life and your family, and you've dealt with like any loved ones like that, like you know it's a disease. Like
totally.
Like it's hard because it's like a self-inflicted disease, so you like want to be mad about it, but like at the end of the day, they're not the person that they are inside.
Totally.
And accepting that is really hard. You know, if you're, you know, like without getting into a personal thing, like accepting that it's a disease is probably like one of the hardest things for any family member to be like.
No, it's rough because you just.
This isn't this person.
Yeah, because you want to just be like, damn, they're so selfish. Like.
Yeah.
But I mean, addiction runs in my family. I've had deaths and all kinds of gnarly stuff. But what I can say is I'll have the worst day of my life, and I'll just get home and I'll just realize I'm like, dude, I'm sober.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, dude, I'm sober. My life rules.
I
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like instantly.
You haven't had to apologize to anybody except your wife, probably, right?
Yeah. It's rough.
You know, that feeling of having to apologize to people?
No, I haven't had that in many years.
Yeah,
dude.
that's probably the worst.
Texting the boys. I remember texting the boys when I was younger, just all the time.
What I do?
Just being like, oh, boys, can't believe we were
anxiety.
arguing over Uno cards. My bad.
Yeah.
You know,
get anxiety just thinking about it.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies when I see him turning up these days, I'm just like, oh man. Like you can just see it on someone's face when they're about to go into the next atmosphere.
Yeah. But you know what, man? Everybody at their own pace. Everyone has to figure it out. God bless you.
Totally.
If you're out there getting after it, you know, there'll be a time and a place where you got to reel it back in. But hey, I tell you what, man, like if I knew how to do it, I would do it. But I just, you know, after I can't drink one beer personally. Like
me neither.
You know, so you know, some people know how to do it. So God bless you if you can.
Well, sometimes I'm like, Jordan, oh man, I'm so jealous of those guys. They're so normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's definitely something wrong with us. You know, we're sitting here talking to each other for 40 minutes over it.
But I'm like, I'm like, wow, dude, this guy, like I went out to dinner with these guys and they had one beer. That's
insane.
That's so foreign to me.
Yeah, that's just.
Because I would just go straight go. One beer at dinner, I'm buying a 30-pack on the way home from dinner.
Let's shift gears.
Where are we headed?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing? Let's bring this thing to a conclusion here.
Will likes a nice.
Yeah.
A beginning.
What's your favorite part of surfing? Like, what's your favorite? All
right.
Favorite part of surfing.
This is a great question for right now. I just did the Get Wet tour with Catch Surf. We went to Virginia Beach. One of the stops was we showed up at Coastal Edge Surf Camp. You know Wes Lane?
Yes.
Legendary East Coast surfer.
Wes Lane, are you kidding me?
And
Wes Lane put me on.
Did he?
Wes Lane put me on, 17 years old, brought me to Elbow Ledge, put me on the WRV team.
I don't even know what that is. Elbow Ledge. Sounds sick.
Anyways, he put me on. If it wasn't for Wes Lane, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Well, I love Wes Lane.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went to a surf camp and there's this random kid. There's all the campers, whatever, all the stuff. Action. There's this kid on the inside. Happened to be riding a wave bandit. It wasn't mine, but it was a wave bandit. And he's paddling out. He's like 5 years old. He can't get out. So I'm like, all right, dude, you ready? His name was Fletcher. I just grabbed his nose and I was walking out. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, dude, trust me, I got you. And he's like, I don't want to go out here. I'm like, dude, trust me, I got you. Go out all the way out. I'm like, Wes, we got Fletcher out. And he's like, Fletcher's not at camp today, but sick. He knew who he was, but he wasn't even at the camp. It was just some random kid. So I'm like, oh God, what's this kid's mom thinking?
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw like a little 6-incher coming and the sandbar was perfect. Low tide, First Street, Virginia Beach. Turned this kid around, shot him in, stood up, rode it all the way to the sand. And he was just going, that was the wave of my life.
That was
it. And I was like, that's my favorite part about surfing.
That's it.
That was it.
That was his moment.
Right there.
That was a 10-point ride.
For me, that was as cool as me getting barreled.
And I feel like that is what separates surfing from every other sport on the planet.
Yeah.
Is the same exact thing that kid got right there is what you get on the craziest double up day ever.
Yep.
And what I get on the craziest whatever trip ever. So like it's the same exact thing.
Yep.
And I don't think you could say that for other sports.
No. And that's part of the novelty thing though. I tried to recapture the magic through, you know, everyone gets to, even if it's a 1-footer, if it's peeling in a perfect fashion, we're like, whoa, there's something there.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of like capturing that magic back.
I like the novelty thing too, man. I might get into that.
That's a lot of my chase, actually.
Yeah.
Getting back that feeling of, that's why I always like new. I always like finding a new boat wave, a new something, anything.
It's kind of cool. Like you flipped the script on the surfing industry and like, whether you like it or not, like everybody was chasing, it was like everybody was chasing the same exact thing and thousands of them. And you were just like the kid that was like in the pack, like chasing it. And then you just like looked over and you were like, nah, I'm going to go over there. And it was like you had to get through a lot of stuff to get to the next whatever it was. But like out of the millions of kids chasing this one thing, you created this vlog thing. Like nobody else was doing it before you. Even Jamie O'Brien gave you full credit for him, like even starting a vlog. Like, so like you kind of, you know, flipped the script on a whole entire industry and like creatively, like that's sick. Excuse my French, but that's Thanks. Like to me, like you thought like, yes, thought outside the box, but that's what you did. And now you built something over here, right? And now you created a path, right? Somebody always has to take out the machete. And like, listen, this is a good quote too. Sorry, I've got all the quotes. Some people have to pave the road and others get to drive on it. And you paved a road in surfing. Wow. And now others get to drive on it. And you know what? You can't get jealous of them because they just get a smooth ride and you had to pave it. And you know, I hacked through it with a machete. And I feel like we both kind of have our own recipes of that, right? We both have had to do a lot of paving, and you proved the model, and now dude, people are getting to do it. That's crazy. That's a perspective. It's weird, but I'd never think about it like that. You did. I mean, on an outside point, you're not going to think about yourself like that, but yeah, that's it, man. That's you did crazy. It, bro. You Thanks, did Will. It, and we're here now. I appreciate it, man. And all I can really say to that is, I was in such a bad place before that before I started doing what I was doing, the vlogs and stuff, that I couldn't potentially think about. For the first time in my life, I had to be selfish. I couldn't think about what anybody else was doing because I had to fix myself and I had to cure my issues. Mm-hmm. And that's where that led. And it's really weird because I reached all the way down into the purest spot that I could find inside my soul and my heart, and that's where it led. And that's pretty powerful, pretty crazy, because all I was going for was like, all right, Ben, where are you, man? Yeah, I gotta find you. It's almost like you just went off on your own with your machete and you didn't even think about what you were doing or where you're going. I couldn't. Yeah, and then you just came through the forest and you were like, boom, golden pineapple. And then you're like, oh, snap. And the next thing you look back and there's a few other people cruising through you. So that's cool. I mean, you followed your heart. And I think that's the bottom line here is like, listen, we got pretty damn spiritual here, but like you followed your heart. You paved the path for other people to drive on. And yeah, well, you gotta smile at them while we're in our little rinky dink cars and they're flying by with their Lamborghinis, you know? The only way to do it is to follow your heart. Yeah, that's the only answer. We can't get sour at those people that take the paths that like. No, you know what's funny, dude? I get so many little troll people online that are like, "Oh, look at him, stealing your thing." I'm like, it's not my thing. Yeah. I just went and rode the wave. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, that's sick. Yeah. I love it. Like other people could surf the ferry wave. Start a vlog. Right? Surf the ferry wave. Yeah. Go surf the 50 states. Yeah, do it. Why do I care? Yeah. I'm already on to my next journey. Yeah. And you know what? I got sour when I was younger when like other people were starting other like surf schools and camps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw them like take like what I thought was like, you know, doing it my way. And maybe they drew an inspiration, but like, you know, I had to grow up and realize that like, you know, like they say like, you know, whatever, copying is the biggest form of flattery. And like imitation. Yeah, imitation. Yeah. So
that's the truest statement
and
ever.
like, as you get older, man, like it kind of goes all the way back to the full circle of like, yo, when we're gone, it doesn't matter. We're just going to be here and then we're going to be gone. And all we could do is leave behind our words and any wisdom we might create. And that's it. Because, no dollars, no objects, nothing else is coming with you. You go and you drift off into heaven or wherever you believe, and you can't take anything with you. So that's it.
And dude, like, would you rather be challenged and would you rather continue to unlock new levels, or would you rather just be stuck back there thinking the way you thought 10 years ago? God is gonna prod at you and poke at you and test you to get you to that next level, because if that never came along, if people didn't start vlogging, if other people didn't start surfing novelty waves, if people didn't start making surf schools, you never would have grown. You wouldn't have gotten any better. You wouldn't have learned how to be a bigger person. You wouldn't have learned how to swallow your pride and humble yourself and continue to grow and open your eyes and the doors and get smarter and open your heart and learn humility, not only humility, but also learn how to forgive people.
Exactly.
Forgiveness. And be like,
when other people are like, oh, blah, doing surf school, I'm like, oh, did you hear there's a new pizza place in town? Yeah. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, imagine all the pizza places in New York got mad at each other.
But people love it.
Yeah,
dude.
They love it. They like to pick.
There's so many times that people try to prod at me and say like, oh, like, look at this, look at that. Like,
they try to get a rise out of you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, who the f*** am I?
Yeah.
You know.
So God bless people and just keep chasing your dreams. And
we're vibing, Will.
Hard. We're vibing. Hard.
Should have gone for a 6-hour live stream.
What time? How long has this been going on for?
Too long.
All right.
45, Will.
All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna leave with chase your dreams. Sometimes you have to swallow your pride, and sometimes you're going to notice that you have to pave the road and others get to drive on it, and that's just part of it, right? Especially if you're a creative thinker. And yeah, you just can't get worked up.
Hey man,
I'm leaving on that. What do you got?
A lot of artists, a lot of the most famous artists in history did not get any recognition until after they died.
There you go.
I mean, at least we're getting a little.
All right, cool.
Nah, it's all good. Thanks, Will.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, yo, if this was anyone else, I probably wouldn't have gotten that deep. So thank you.
That's super deep. Yeah.
Thank you. Good times, dude.
Spiritual, baby.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Respect. True. Floyd Media, baby.
Floyd Media.